Hidden beneath dense jungle canopies, swallowed by time, lie the remains of one of the most extraordinary civilizations the world has ever known. Towering pyramids, vast cities, advanced mathematics, astronomical precision that rivaled civilizations half a world away. And then, silence. No single invasion, no final battle, no clear ending, just abandonment. Tonight, we uncover the rise and the mysterious collapse of the Maya. Long before empires dominated continents, before Rome, before medieval kingdoms, the Maya were already building something remarkable. Around 2000 BCE, small farming communities began to emerge in what is now southern Mexico, Guatemala, Belize, and parts of Honduras. At first, they were simple villages carved from jungle, families sustained by maize, beans, and squash. But something was different. The land was harsh, thick rainforest, unpredictable rainfall, thin soil. Survival here required adaptation and innovation. And the Maya adapted brilliantly. They developed advanced agricultural systems, terracing hillsides, draining wetlands, and creating raised fields. They turned hostile terrain into fertile ground, and with stability came growth. By 250 CE, the Maya world entered what we now call the Classic Period. Cities began to rise. Massive urban centers were carved directly into the jungle. Tikal, Calakmul, Palenque. These weren't just cities. They were power centers, each one ruled by kings who claimed divine authority, each one competing for dominance. Stone pyramids stretched toward the sky. Temples aligned with celestial events. Palaces housed elite rulers and scribes. But what truly set the Maya apart was their mind. They developed one of the most advanced writing systems in the ancient world. Glyphs that recorded history, politics, and mythology. They created a calendar so precise it could track cycles of time across thousands of years. They even understood the concept of zero, centuries before much of the world. This was not a primitive society. This was a civilization at its peak. But beneath the beauty, tension was growing. The Maya were not one unified empire. They were a network of city-states, each with its own ruler, its own army, its own ambitions. And where there is power, there is conflict. Wars broke out frequently, not always for territory, but for dominance, prestige, and control of trade routes. Captured kings were humiliated, tortured, and sacrificed. Entire cities were sometimes overthrown, their monuments defaced, their history erased. This constant rivalry created instability. But for centuries, the system held. Cities rose, fell, and rose again, until something changed. At their peak, around 600 to 800 CE, the Maya civilization reached extraordinary heights. Tikal may have held tens of thousands of people. Massive causeways connected districts. Markets buzzed, trading jade, obsidian, and cacao. Astronomers mapped the movements of Venus with stunning accuracy. Architects built structures that still stand today, despite being reclaimed by jungle for over 1,000 years. From the outside, it looked unstoppable, but inside, cracks were forming. A civilization this advanced requires balance, food, water, and stability. And slowly, that balance began to break. Population growth exploded. More people meant more farmland. More farmland meant deforestation. Trees were cut down at massive scales to build, to farm, and to fuel construction. Without trees, the soil weakened. Erosion increased. Crop yields began to fall. At the same time, drought struck. Not just short dry seasons, but prolonged, devastating droughts lasting years, even decades. Water reservoirs dried up, food shortages spread, and as resources became scarce, tensions rose. What happens when a powerful civilization can no longer feed its people? It fractures. Wars intensified. Alliances broke. Trust collapsed. Kings, once seen as divine, were now blamed for failing to maintain order, failing to bring rain, failing to protect their people. Revolts likely erupted. Cities that once thrived began to weaken. Monuments stopped being built. Records stopped being carved. Then came the most chilling part. People began to leave. Between 800 and 900 CE, something extraordinary happened. Major Maya cities, once alive, with tens of thousands, were abandoned, not destroyed, not burned, just left behind. Pyramids stood empty. Plazas fell silent. Jungles crept in, reclaiming everything. Within a few generations, entire regions were nearly depopulated. It wasn't a single catastrophic event. It was a slow, cascading collapse. A system that could no longer sustain itself. But the Maya did not vanish completely. That's one of the biggest misconceptions. Millions of Maya people still exist today. Their descendants carry on traditions, languages, and culture that date back thousands of years. Even after the collapse of the great cities, smaller communities survived, adapted, endured. The civilization didn't disappear. It transformed. So what really caused the fall? Drought, war, environmental destruction, overpopulation? The truth is, it was likely all of them. A perfect storm. A civilization pushed beyond its limits, unable to recover. And that's what makes the Maya story so powerful. There was no single enemy, no final battle, just a slow unraveling from within. The Maya built cities that touched the sky, mapped the stars, and mastered time itself. But even the greatest civilizations are fragile, not because they are weak, but because they depend on balance. And when that balance breaks, even giants fall. The question is, if it happened to them, could it happen again? If you enjoyed diving into the rise and mysterious fall of the Maya civilization, make sure to like the video. It really helps the channel grow and keeps these stories coming. And if you want more powerful tales of empires that shaped the world and the forces that brought them down, don't forget to subscribe to Rise and Ruin. There's a lot more history waiting to be uncovered, and you won't want to miss what rises next.